What's up, Libra? How are you guys doing? Guess what time it is? It's time for your weekly check in, making sure I'm on time this time. We're going to see what's going on with you guys in the second week of December, December week 2. So it's a weekly check in. So it's just a short, quick, general, energetic overview. You know what to do. If you need to find out how to schedule a personal reading, all the information is in the description of this video. All right, let's see how that energy's looking. How's the energy looking between Libra and the person they're dealing with? Second week of December. How's it looking? Six of Cups reversed. Okay, somebody's holding a grudge. Is that you? Are you grudging? If it ain't you, it's them. Somebody grudging, somebody looking back on the past with very sour, bitter negativity. Yeah. Whose energy is this? Honestly, it kind of feels like the person you're dealing with, but we'll look at their energy specifically here in a second. Man, I don't see an ounce of action here at all. No action. There is no movement, no action. Hangman, Empress reversed. It just looks like really silent, loud tension, if that makes sense. The silence is really loud between the two of you. There's a lot of tension here, a whole lot. Maybe that's both of you. Maybe you're both just so guarded towards each other that even if the two of you are 100 miles apart, the tension is so thick you could swim through it. Okay, well, I don't have a lot else to say about this because there's no action. For some of you, there could be blocked communication or just little to no communication. It doesn't really look like anybody is going out of their way to communicate or work around any blocks in communication. I guess to avoid the drama, avoid the conflict. Okay, well, let's see what signs I have on the table. I got Pisces, Cancer, Taurus, Virgo. But again, it could be anybody. Those are just energies. Well, let's see how they feel about you. What are their truest, deepest feelings, energies, and intentions? Person Libra's dealing with. Oh, they're giving you the silent treatment. Okay. Okay. I know you can't really tell by looking, but that's the Four of Cups. Hey, the person you're dealing with gonna make sure you get a lump of coal in your stocking. Oh, let's see. Five of Swords again. That actually did come out in the last spread, too. That was the very last card that came out. But I figured I would kind of set that to the side. Oh, yeah. 10 of Cups. So Five of Swords. Again, this is a very unconventional tarot deck, so you can't tell by looking. But the Five of Swords is defeat at all cost. Basically, it means I'll play dirty if I have to. I'm going to get what I want, and I don't care what I have to do to get it. I don't care who I have to lie to, cheat, steal from, manipulate, fuck over, throw under the bus. Nothing is below me. And this person sees you, and it really looks like you're doing good. I don't know if you are or not, but it looks like you're doing good. And I don't know if they want to try to sabotage you, sabotage anything that you got going on. Yeah, it almost looks like with the Tower card here, kind of looks like they would love to be able to sabotage anything good that you have going on. I don't know if they're going to actually do that, though, because like I said, I don't see any action here. So this person kind of seems like the type that would sit around and fantasize and plan, but probably not take action, you know? So this just feels like this person's butt hurt and bitter to me. Some of you dealing with a Scorpio. Anything else here? I got Sagittarius. Yeah. So it looks to me kind of like they're just bitter and butt hurt. And hey, I'm going to tell you what, when you get out of a toxic relationship, the last thing that person wants is to see you do better. You know why? You know why they don't want to see you do better? Because that exposes the truth when it comes to who the toxic one really was. Now, we all know that sometimes it's two toxic people. But let's talk about the scenario in which there's one toxic person and one non toxic person, right? And they're both pointing the finger at each other. And if you're an outsider and you don't know too much about it, you don't know who to believe. So if you're really curious as to who the toxic one was, how do you find out? You pay close attention to what happens between the two of them when they separate. The toxic one is going to end up just repeating the same cycle. Very frequently, the toxic one is in another relationship as soon as possible, right? The non toxic one is going to go on a healing journey. They're not just going to jump into a relationship with someone new because they genuinely loved you. When you genuinely love someone, you can't even think about anybody else, right? The non toxic one gave all of their heart and soul to this connection, all of it. They're not just going to jump into a new relationship, they're going to heal. They're going to go through the process of releasing and transmuting the energy. And then they're going to move on and do better. So when you see one person move on and do better and the other person keeps repeating the same cycle, it's clear as to who the toxic person really was. And I think they're starting to get the idea that you are obviously doing better. Now, again, are you? I don't know, but it looks like you are. And I think that bothers them. All right, let's see if there's any advice. Ooh, okay. Well, I tell you what. I tell you what. Sometimes sometimes attempting to get closure or repair things or fix things can do more harm than good. And you're at a crossroads. You have two paths that you can choose from. You can either leave this karmic tie as is, or you can put yourself in a situation where the chance is very, very high that it's going to make that karmic tie even worse. Again, I don't want to tell you what and what not to do, but I will tell you that if you try to initiate anything with this person right now, you stand a chance of just making things worse. And if you got to go into 2026 holding a karmic tie, that's fine. You got to plan this shit out. So you don't want to add more sticks to the bundle. That's already a part of your path that's going to make your path into 2026 a little bit more challenging than it would be if this never happened. But if you really try to initiate something with this person, you're going to double the load here that you're carrying into 2026. All right. We want to think big picture when it comes to the energetic pathway that we take. Think big picture, right? What's the likelihood that we're going to clear this energy? Do I want to take the chance? Because my path into 2026, I'm already carrying a load that I got to heal from. Is it worth taking the chance? Taking the chance, even taking the chance of making my path into 2026 even harder. If it's worth it, by all means, do what you got to do. But just know that going into it. But it's very, very likely right now that, that energetic load that you're carrying is just going to get even heavier. It'll just loop around, repeat the same cycle, or worse. I know I use that phrase, repeat the cycle, a lot, but sometimes, more often than not, repeating the cycle is even worse. Okay. It's going to be worse the second time around, and then worse the third time around, and so on and so forth. All right, let's shift gears now. Hang on, there was a super chat, I think. Let me grab that. Mr. Slide Away, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate you. All right, let's see how the energy is looking for the singles. Single Libras. What's coming in? Anything good coming in? Anything bad coming in? Anything new coming in? Anything old coming in? Anything coming in at all? Oh, look at that. That's that Knight of Cups, though. Definitely looks like something's on its way. Ten of Cups, though. Look at that. There's definitely blessings waiting for you around the corner. 100%. Look at that, bro. So, yes, I was wondering when this was going to start coming through. I was wondering. A lot of you are at that point where your person is around the corner. A lot of you are. And I think you can tell, you can feel that. You can absolutely feel that. But what do I always say? What do I always say? When your person is all that's really left to come in, you're going to be tested. And don't you get it twisted for a minute. When you're tested, it's tempting. Oh, it's tempting. When the universe sends a test your way, oh, it's going to find your weaknesses and it's going to test your weaknesses 100%. But I think the majority of you are pretty solid, pretty rock solid. So I think there's going to be an open door of opportunity for you to connect with someone. And here's the thing about being tested, too. People freak out. Oh, when am I going to stop being tested? I've had so many lessons over the last 5 years. That's not the same thing. Being tested and learning lessons is two different things. When it's a test, that means you've been through this before. A lesson is something brand new that you've never experienced. First, you learn the lesson, then you're tested on it. So if you're tested, there's something energetically or vibrationally or incidentally that you've been through before. Right? And that can span across such a broad layer of subjects and whatnot. But you'll feel it. You feel it. This is going to remind you of something from your past somehow, some way. To give you, let's just come up with a corny example. Like, let's say your last relationship was with someone who, I don't know, can't hold a job and live with their mama, just for example. And, obviously, you can't hold a job. That says something about you. You live at home with your mama and you a grown ass adult. That says maybe something about you. And it does. The reason why this person can't hold a job and lives with a mama is because their head's not in the right place. And that's oh so obvious. So now an open door of opportunity pops open where you meet somebody again who just can't seem to hold a job and live at home with their mama. And it's like, whoa, red flag number one. Been here, done that. And not only that, let's say they're the same zodiac sign as that person. Ding, 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 ding. Red flag, right? I hear this stuff all the time in my personal readings. People are just so flabbergasted that like frequency attracts like frequency that they can't believe that the last three people I connected with were the same zodiac sign and have all these other things that line up. You know, they work in the same profession. Yeah, like frequency attracts like frequency. And then the question is, what are you going to do? Are you going to do the same thing you did last time? If you do the same thing you did last time, you're going to get the same thing you got last time, right? It's the way it works. Now, for those of you who pass the test, right when you least expect it, probably into 2026, I think you're going to be, pow, really caught off guard by your actual person when you least expect it. If you're expecting it, it's not them. There's nothing about your person that you would ever be able to guess. You will never be able to find that person. You will never know where to look for that person. If you knew where to look for that person, you would have met them a long time ago. So let's see if any advice can come through. Man, two of swords reversed. You gotta be stone cold, rock solid, 10 toes down on the abundance vibration. Right? Abundance means I don't need. You know, most relationships are coming together on an energy of need. And it's no secret. People yell it from the rooftops. I need someone to talk to. I need someone to spend time with. I need someone to meet my emotional needs. That word need is an abundance killer. You will never attract anything of abundance as long as you are radiating vibrations of need. Abundance means I don't need. I don't need anything. You have to radiate that vibration before the universe can manifest it to you. So if you're on a frequency of I don't need, how do you think I don't need is mirrored back to you by the universe? The universe is going to make sure you don't need. Think about that. Think about that. It's going to get to a point where you're like, nah, you know what? Fuck it. If that's all that's out there is a bunch of losers, a bunch of liars, manipulators. That's it. That's all that's out there. Fuck it. I don't even care. I don't need it then. I don't need it then. You mean to tell me that this world is just filled with nothing but a bunch of fucking liars and cheaters and manipulators and game players? And I'm going to prolong my happiness until the day comes that somebody comes and makes me happy? No, I'm not doing that. I want to be fucking happy. I want to be fucking happy, God damn it. I want to be whole, fulfilled, complete, and abundant. I'm not going to wait until somebody shows up in my life before I decide to be happy and abundant. Fuck it. If it shows up, it shows up. If it don't, it don't. Now you're out of the way. Now there's quantum physics behind this too. I save that for my personal clients. There's rock solid quantum physics, and if you want to dig deep enough, neuroscience and biology behind this too. But you're out of the way. When you stop thinking about it, you stop looking for it, you let go of the quantum field, that's the only time the universe can get in here and do something for you. That's why it happens when you least expect it. That's the only time it can happen. Because while you're expecting it or looking for it or chasing it or pursuing it, you're in the way. Okay? So, man, a whole bunch of you about to meet your person in 2026. And you're about to drop off. Drop off of the YouTube tarot community. Because I'm going to tell you what right now, when you meet your fucking person, you ain't going to need to come ask me shit. All right, y'all. I feel like those were the messages that my Libra family needed to hear. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. Thanks again for tuning in and playing along. Don't forget, information for personal readings is all down here in the description. All right. I'm out of here now, y'all. I will see you sometime between now and the rest of all eternity. Stay blessed.